Yo, where do I even begin? So, y'all see the title, man. Today, we're going to talk about music and my love for music. I love music so much. And I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. I love music and I really want to talk about this because music has just been a part of my life. I can go on and on about music. And I think this video might have two parts. So this video, I'm gonna just talk about music in general. And then the second part, I'm gonna talk about some of like my favorite artists and whatnot. And like my favorite type of genres of music and stuff like that. But this is just talking about music in general. Man, music is something that's just been something. Music is something that just been. Music is something that I cannot go my day without. Whether I'm going to the store, I'm going to class, or just walking outside, I always have my AirPods in and I'm listening to music. Everywhere I go, whenever I'm doing something, I'm listening to music. Music is so valuable to me and I cherish it. Music is everything. And I want to start from my childhood. My early childhood experiences of just listening to music. It was a lot of, the radio, of course. And mostly through my mom. Occasionally my dad, but mostly through my mom. Which is how I developed my kind of strength and love for music. Because I just remember being a kid, and she would have different albums on CDs, and she would play them wherever we were going, whether it was like the store or whatever. Especially on road trips too. She would play music through her CDs, and most of that music consisted of a lot of Michael Jackson. Who else? Michael Jackson. There was Usher. There was, what's their names? Ooh. Why am I forgetting the names? There was Usher, there was Michael Jackson. Hold up, 1 second. Lucy Pearl. Justin Timberlake. It was Chris Brown. There was so much different music that I was listening to growing up. There was Jay-Z. A lot of different music, a lot of old school R&B too. That's mostly of what I was hearing through my mom. She would have these CDs and she would play them in the car, and I was pretty much listening to like the same songs pretty much like every week. And I loved it, man. I didn't realize how much it was gonna affect me even now, but it kind of shaped my taste in music. I like a lot of R&B, a lot of rap. So growing up on that kind of music really cultivated and gave me a perspective of music that's just very dynamic. I remember there'd be what was that? What was that? It was called VHS 1. I think that's what it was called. Channel called VHS 1. They would play music videos. What was it called that? I'm pretty sure it was called that. They would play music videos, and it was a lot of like early 2000s music videos. So I was getting a lot of my music taste from there too. Just yeah, growing up, it was a lot of that. It was especially on weekends when she was like cleaning the house and whatnot. Turn it to that channel. I was listening to music through that. My dad, he's Caribbean, he's Guyanese. He would listen to a lot of Sizzla, you know, old school like reggae artists. I don't listen to a lot of reggae, but I was growing up on a lot of that. And they both, you know, they would occasionally play or like listen to on the radio like 90s rap and whatnot, like Biggie, Tupac, a lot of them. But it was a lot of different music that I was hearing. And as a kid, I would sing along to them, singing a lot. And even like, I just remember like being during class, just like being in like elementary class, just like humming to the songs. And it was just, at that time, I was listening to pretty much everything through my parents. And I loved it because it made me gain an appreciation for music as I'm older now. So as I got older, I would say closer to the end of my elementary school, like throughout my elementary school, we'd go on road trips. I said this already, but go on road trips, we'd listen to a lot of different music. Again, like I was saying, a lot of old school R&B, and I was getting a lot of many different feelings. Sorry, I'm backtracking again. I'm getting like different thoughts. I remember just feeling a sense of just peace, and I don't know, it's just like, it's like on these road trips, and then she would play these beautiful R&B songs. It's warm out, the window's cracked, we're on the road traveling, and it was just so like, it felt like so peaceful. And I'm like thinking back to that time, and like I wish I can experience something like that again. I connect music with certain memories that I have as a child, and I hold those so like close and sacred to me, because it just reminds me of a time where things were so simple, a lot more happier, a lot more carefree. Okay, so the video cut out because the battery pack died. So I'ma just continue from where I left off. If you notice it being a little like dimmer, it's because we're about 2 or 3 hours in the future right now. So yeah, I'ma just continue from where I left off. Yeah, like during that time when I was a kid, it was like many different feelings. It was just so different back then. I just remember feelings of just being carefree, more aloof, just being more in the moment. And music is a great way for me to recognize those feelings again and remember those feelings that I had. I can connect music with many different events that happened in my life, whether it was good or bad. I'm gonna try not to move around too much on my chair because it makes a lot of noise. Yeah. Uh, but I was talking a lot more after it. I don't know when it died, but I was talking a lot more. I don't know how long I was talking for, but I was talking a lot more about different stuff, like different eras of music, especially like 2016 to 2018. Um, I was talking mostly around that time. Uh, but yeah, I'm gonna go over that quickly. Yeah, like as I got older, music was changing. Music was New artists were rising. Music was just different during those times. Talking mostly from like 2015 and up. That's where I started to see a change in music, I would say 2014 and up. That's when things started to change a lot in the music industry, I would say. Um, I want to talk about that like 2016 to 2018 era. That was a time. Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi Vert, Trippie Redd, Juice World, X. Oh my gosh, what a time. You just had to be there to experience it. You just had to be there. My personal favorite during that time was Trippie. I loved Trippie so much. His Life's a Trip album, I replayed that so many times, it's not even funny. Yeah, and I remember during track meets, on our way to track meets, I was listening to a lot of Juice World, a lot of Trippie. I remember in school, they would play in a lot of like, I grew up in New York, so playing a lot of drill music, A Boogie, shoot, Pop Smoke. I don't know if y'all remember him, but Smooth L, he had like a couple hits for like a year or two. Who else? Who else? B Love. So many like different like drill artists and whatnot. And it's like the summers during that time felt so long. Felt so long. They were like longer. Cause we were living in the moment. We would listen to these songs, and it was just a fun time, man. One thing that I can say for certain is that music has the ability to just bring people together. We see this throughout history. Concerts, cookouts, even when you're just with your friends, you're in a car with your family, your friends, you're driving somewhere, all singing together and just having a good time. You're living in the moment. It's times like that where music is important because it brings unity and you forget about everything else that's happening in the world. That's why music is so special to me. Music, sometimes I just get lost in it. I forget everything else and I'm just in the moment. Sometimes music has made me cry. Sometimes music has made me happy. Music gives me so many different feelings, and sometimes I can't even describe what I'm feeling with music. And I have a long history with music too. I was in the chorus, I was in the all county chorus in the 6th grade. I was a bit of a singer. I never really took it anywhere though. I played the viola for a little bit. I didn't really like it all that much, but I have friends that actually make music, and they actually inspire me to make music too. Like I've been dabbling around in GarageBand trying to learn how to make music. And I know for all you music heads that like know, that make music and whatnot. I know FL Studios, The Wave, or Ableton. I can't afford FL, and I'm not cracking FL. Okay? So for now, I'm sticking with GarageBand because it is easy and it is simple. But yeah, I just have so many memories with music dating back to when I was like 4 years old up until now. Music is just everything to me, man. Every time my parents come over, or when I'm going back to New York for a little bit, when I'm like on break or whatnot, between like class, I'm always like sharing like new songs with my mom, or I would like play songs. We would like turn on the TV and like play music videos, or just I would just like play songs in the car. I would like take control of the aux and I'd play songs because that's how I connect with them, through music. And I love music so much. That's how I connect. I love sharing music. I love listening to music. I also have a friend here that we exchange music all the time. We listen to a lot of different things. Yeah, so music is a big part of my life. I have friends, I just said this, friends that make music, they put out albums, and they inspire me. I want to learn more about music. And yeah, man. And I think the thing with music for me, I'm more, and a lot of people are different, but I'm more captivated by the beat than anything else. I'll probably pay attention to the lyrics later, but the beat is what really sets, the beat is the song, in my opinion. And then second is, the lyrics, of course, and the composition of the song. Sometimes some songs I just get so lost in the beat. It's like I don't even know where I'm going anywhere. I'm like, one moment I'm in planet Earth, the next moment I'm in space. I'm somewhere else. And yeah, it's like everywhere I go, whether it's I'm going to school, I'm going to the store, I'm just going to get a quick errand, I'm doing homework, I'm writing something down, I'm probably have my AirPods in listening to music. It's like everywhere I go, wherever I'm doing, whatever I'm doing, I'm listening to music. Music is just everything, and I want to learn more about music. I want to learn how to make more beats. Yeah, I love music that much, and I feel like I've been putting that off for so long, because I really want to get into, making beats. But I've been putting it off because of, excuses like school and whatnot. But yeah, music has the ability to just bring people together. Music is more than just sounds. It's a feeling. It's a moment in time. It's love. It's sadness. It's a breath of fresh air. It's walking your dog to the park. You see what I mean? Music is a moment. Music is many different feelings. Music is. That's really it. And I feel like right now with music, there's a lot of many different artists, many different songs, but I don't know, man. I just don't feel music today hitting as much as it did earlier, especially like the early 2000s, 90s. I feel like music today, and I'm gonna speak specifically about rap. A lot of it sounds the same. And like I try to give these songs a chance and I'm like, I'm not feeling it. I feel like a lot of beats are recycled. And it's just like the same, like, it's like the same thing. But I'm not saying that's like all music today, but there is a majority of like the rap music that I hear now. It's just very lackluster and it's low effort. It really is. But there is many artists that I have discovered though today that have really good music, and I feel like they distinguish themselves from or set them apart from other artists today that put out really good stuff. But for me personally, I like older music. I feel like you can hear the difference in music today compared to back then. I feel like back then you can tell that there was effort being put. You got the message of the song. You resonated with the song. You tied that song to a specific moment. A lot of these songs today, you can't tie them to a moment. You remember them, but you can't tie them to a specific moment anymore. Music back then, you can do that. You were hearing them on the radio on a nice summer morning, and you can sing along whatever you were doing. Music back then, it was real, it was deep, it meant something. You got the message of the song, you felt it. You felt, and you can tell the effort was being put into the song. And not just that, music videos too. Music videos had a lot more effort too back then. And they felt so much more meaningful. And you know, I was born in '04, but you know, sometimes I think about, man, what if I was born earlier? What if I got to experience that era, that early 2000s, that 2000 to like 06, 08 era of just music? What if I was like a teenager or a college student back then experiencing this moment? I always get curious of what it would have felt like to experience that, because for some reason, music during that time is more relatable to me. I feel it deeply here, and it resonates with me very strongly. And I can't explain it. It's just so, it feels so much deeper. And it makes me think of a time of what was. A time that I didn't really get to experience, but I can still place myself in for some reason. Yeah, and it just feels like life back then was just so much more different. It felt, especially that the music was just so more vibrant. And you know, and it makes me, can make anyone cry, man, just thinking about it. But it's also, you know, important to recognize that I grew up on a lot of great music growing up. And I can't tie a lot of memories from my early like teenage years, my childhood years to those songs, to what I grew up on. So yeah. If it's one thing about music that people need to understand, is that music, no matter what genre it is, and I literally said this like 1,000 times throughout this video, music brings unity. Music is what's gonna bring us together. Music is that key. It's just togetherness. I wonder what like this world would be without music. It would be pretty boring. I can't even like fathom that. Yo, imagine Earth without music. Yo, the suicide rate would probably be skyrocketing. Seriously. But anyways, yeah, that's just like my general take on music right now. I think I said everything that I wanted to say in this video. But yeah, I love music, man. I love music so much. It is so important to me. And I'm sure music is important to a lot of you guys too. I'm sure you guys listen to many different artists. But yeah, there will be a part 2 where I go deeper into my favorite types of music and my favorite artists. I can't wait to talk about that. Oh, stay tuned for that. I'm gonna talk about my favorite artists. So be ready, man. I will see y'all on the next video. Stay tuned. It's gonna be a good one. Peace.